A judge has handed out the first felony sentencing today stemming from the January 6th insurrection. This is one of the first formal steps toward accountability and reckoning in a long process that the DOJ says is key to deterring ongoing terror threats. Convicted MAGA rider Paul Hodgkins will be behind bars for 8 months, with many eyeing these first sentences as a potential precedent for the many cases to come. Now, currently, there are hundreds of people charged in connection with January 6th. Here is what Hodgkins did in plain sight that day. Photos and evidence in the case says he illegally rushed the Senate chamber, trespassing among the senators' desks and sporting a Trump 2020 shirt while carrying a Trump 2020 flag. A look the prosecutors say he happily showed off while posing for selfies to his friends, making himself part of the action. Now, that Trump fan who was so proud and brazen on January 6th is now a convicted felon. He's going to jail. And in court, he claimed a kind of naivete that's familiar to so many enablers and defenders of a criminal insurrection, claiming if he had any idea that the protests would escalate, he would never have ventured farther than the sidewalk. Now, you could decide for yourself whether to take that at face value. It's a simplistic version of this 4-year debate over whether to take Trump and this ongoing Republican movement literally when it pushes hate or talks up violence or talks up overthrowing elections and denying people the right to vote. Mr. Hodgkins broke the law by trespassing and joining a mob that overtook police, attacking officers, and showing its disdain for the so-called blue lives that it also liked to talk about when convenient politically. Escalation or not, this January 6th rider, Paul Hodgkins, bragged about his actions until he got busted, going from a wannabe viral tough guy to an apologetic convict. As Vince Staples put it in a new song out just this month, really spilling blood, everybody tough till they gotta go and see the judge. This MAGA rider was never tough, certainly not on the day of his felony, and not today as a convict headed to jail. Let's get right into it. I'm joined by NYU law professor Melissa Murray and staff writer at The Atlantic, David Frum. Professor, your thoughts on, first, just big picture, the notion of accountability, this first felony sentencing.
Well, so this is one that will be watched very closely. As you mentioned in the opening, there are a number of different individuals who were involved in the insurrection and who are awaiting trial. They will have lots of decisions to make based on the sentence about whether or not to plead guilty or to take their chances and face trial. And it's worth noting here that the prosecutors actually asked for a much longer sentence, 18 months. He ultimately got 8 months, in part because he has no criminal history and he pleaded guilty and took responsibility for his actions almost immediately. So there's a lot going on here, but this is a really important case, and I think will shape what we'll see going forward as more and more of those involved in the insurrection are brought to justice.
Yeah, and I think we have something on that. So, David, before I bring you in, let's just look at that other part of the debate, which I think a lot of people are discussing tonight, whether this jail term is enough. The Biden DOJ sought a 1.5-year sentence, given how Hodgkins was part of what they called a collective threat to democracy. His defense lawyer had this take.
I think Judge Moss is a brilliant judge. I hear it, cancel culture, and everybody gets upset when they say it. But the fact of the matter is we're so busy casting stones at one another. I think his decision was that of a brilliant jurist who had a very difficult job. There is no precedent. And for the record, you guys should give Paul Hodgkins a break.
Many rejecting that call to give him a break, or any of the nation to take a break from accountability. And I want to be clear before I bring the panel back. Legally, nothing in the case ties the hands of judges in these other cases. And some of those have more serious or violent charges than this one, where the rules might double the jail term. With that in mind, before I bring in David, Melissa, since you raised it and we did want to have a look at that, walk us through in more detail the issue of the lenience or not.
Well, one, he was charged here with obstructing an official event at the Capitol. So this wasn't about harming other people. It wasn't about the use of brute force against individuals. So again, that plays into the nature of his sentence. The fact that he has no former criminal history also plays into a sentence. Does that mean that Judge Moss is a brilliant jurist, as this defense attorney said? I think it was a brilliant outcome for this particular defendant. I don't know that we necessarily call this brilliance. I think federal judges are making difficult decisions all the time about how to sentence individuals, and this was a tough case, but we may see easier cases. We may see still harder cases going forward, but this will certainly be a benchmark against which other cases are going to be judged, and other judges will take their cues.